Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Have you ever felt down before? Have you ever felt life is meaningless? Have you ever felt demotivated? So, what makes you persevere until today? Is it the reward? Is it the encouragement? Is it the internal drive or external drive? It's all about motivation. So today, we are going to talk about motivation.
Have you ever think that why do we do things we do? What is it that drives our behaviors? Psychologists have proposed some different ways of thinking about motivation, including one method that involves looking at whether motivation arises from outside or inside the individual. While both types are important, researchers have found that intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation can have different effects on behaviors and how people pursue goals. In order to understand how these types of motivation influence human action, it is important to understand what each one is and how it works. What is extrinsic motivation? Extrinsic motivation occurs when we are motivated to perform a behavior or engage in an activity to earn a reward or avoid punishment. In this case, you engage in a behavior not because you enjoy it or because you find it satisfying, but in order to get something in return or avoid something unpleasant. How about intrinsic motivation? Is it the same with extrinsic motivation? No. Intrinsic motivation involves engaging in a behavior because it is personally rewarding, essentially performing an activity for its own sake rather than the desire for some external reward. Essentially, the behavior itself is its own reward. Here are some examples for extrinsic motivation. The first one, participating in a sport to win an award. Second, cleaning your room to avoid being reprimanded by your parents. The third one, competing in a contest to win a scholarship. The fourth one, studying because you want to get a good grade. Examples for intrinsic motivation are participating in a sport because you find the activity enjoyable, cleaning your room because you like tidying up, solving a word puzzle because you find the challenge fun and exciting, studying a subject you find fascinating. Intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation has their own advantages and disadvantages. Intrinsic motivation can be long-lasting and self-sustaining. Efforts to build this kind of motivation are also typically efforts at promoting student learning. Such efforts often focus on the subject rather than rewards or punishments. Extrinsic motivations more readily produce behavior changes, and typically involve relatively little effort or preparation. Also, efforts at applying extrinsic motivation often do not require extensive knowledge of individual students. How to apply intrinsic motivation in the classroom? Number 1. Know your students. Get to know your kids as individuals and discover what they are interested in and how they learn best. Then, design your instruction around these motivating factors. Change up your instruction to keep kids engaged and interested. Provide a mix of independent, partner, and group work. Use technology. Incorporate art. Keep your finger on the pulse of your students and adjust as necessary. Number 2. Give them ownership of their environment. Involve your students in creating the guiding principles of your classroom community. Work together to establish the optimal learning environment for that particular group of individuals. Like all humans, your students are more likely to take care of something they help to create. Number 3. Make sure students have a solid foundation. Explicitly teach basic skills so that students have a solid foundation of knowledge to build upon. Intrinsic motivation will come from being able to tackle complex tasks. Build up students' confidence and make sure they have the resources they need before they begin. Number 4. Practice setting goals. Tap into the power of setting goals. Setting student goals improves both motivation and achievement, encourages a growth mindset, and also supports the development of skills students need to be prepared for their future careers. Number 5. Give specific feedback. Give students feedback that focuses on their strengths instead of their weaknesses and be as specific as possibly can. Instead of saying, "Great job," or "You are smart," tie your comments directly to the student's effort. For example, "Your essay turned out so well because you created an excellent outline to work from." Or, "Your conclusion from the science lab was so insightful because you made very keen observations." Number 6. Tap into students' innate curiosity. Encourage students to take on assignments simply because they want to know more, instead of feeling required to do so just to receive a grade. Establish a genius hour as part of your curriculum to give students the opportunity to direct their own learning. Number 7. As much as possible, allow students choice in their work. When students are given choices, they perceive classroom activities as more important. This increases their intrinsic motivation for putting in effort and going deeper with their learnings. Number 8. Make the connection between classroom activities and real-world situations. Maybe one of your students wants to be an engineer when they grow up. If so, they need to have a solid understanding of mathematics concepts. Knowing that what they are studying will help them meet their goals in the future will boost your students' intrinsic motivation. Number 9. Get out of the way. Trust your students to find their own way as often as possible. Our work as a teacher is to lay the groundwork and provide a framework for the work to be done. How to increase students' learning, motivation, and independence. Prepare students for success with spot-on instruction to be sure, but then fade into the background. Independent practice is critical to learning. and offering too much help is often more problematic than not giving enough. Here comes to the end of my video. Thank you for watching. See you again next time. Bye!